Hey everyone, I'm Adam Kelly. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a camera that can follow a path and keep pointing at an object the entire time. We'll also set up some very basic keyframe animations so that you can see what that looks like animated. This was particularly useful for me while I was creating a synthetic dataset, so if that's something that you're seeking to do, then make sure to check out the links in the description to more information about that. So let's get started. This is our camera. This is our object. This is just an animal that I was playing around with modeling. I'm not currently using it in a project, but I just thought it would be a more interesting thing to look at than a cube. So what we'll do first is we're going to make our camera point at our object. So as you may know, if you move it around right now, I just hit the G key. You can see what I'm doing down here in the corner. The G key, it's not pointing at the object even if I move it around. I'm going to right click to cancel that. We would like it so that if I move it around, the camera at least points at the object. So that's pretty easy to do. We go to the object constraints properties and we add a track to constraint. And all this needs is a target. So what we could do is set our target to be this object. And if we do that, it's going to point at the center of this object, which happens to be right here at the base. That's not really what I want. I would rather that it tracked maybe somewhere up here. So in order to do that, we can create an empty object that's going to sort of represent where the camera points at. So if we go to add, empty, and then you can choose any of these, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to do a cube. And then I'm going to rename this like track to empty, just so that I know what it is. And then all we have to do is move this to the place where we want it. So I'm going to view this from the side and move this up. So that was numpad 3 and then G to move it. And now it's kind of pointing right there, which is a little better. Then all I have to do is set this to our track to empty object. So we just have to set the target. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that the camera is not pointing at the thing, so that's not good. Pretty easy to fix. We just need to set our up axis to Y in this case, and then negative Z for our 2. You'll notice if I set it to positive Z, it actually points away from the object. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe that would be useful in some case where you're trying to do the character's point of view or something. So now we've got this thing that should track it. And sure enough, if we move it around, then it's going to track our object, which is great. I would like to have a curve that I can animate along so that this can sort of circle the object. So what we'll do here is we're going to create a new curve. So add curve path. And then if you look at it, it just looks like a line for now. So let's switch into edit mode. We'll go tab. We've got edit mode, and I'm going to view it from the top. And we can now move these points so that they create an interesting curve. So I'm just going to quickly pick each point, hit G, and then move them so that they kind of follow an interesting path here. Okay, so maybe it starts kind of further away and then circles and then ultimately gets a little closer, and now we've got a nice close-up look of the face. I also would like to select all of these with the A key, G, Z, and move it up so that it's kind of in line with the face of the animal. And who knows, maybe I want to like move this up a little bit too so that we got kind of start up here and then kind of swoop in. So this, I'll tab out of edit mode. I want this to follow this. And you might think, okay, well, I'll just place a constraint directly between the two. In my experience, that doesn't really work very well, so it's better to create an empty object that follows the path and then make this a child of the empty. So we're going to do, I'm going to create an object with Shift A this time, same as picking it from the add menu up there. It's just quicker. So we'll go to empty and I'll do another cube. This cube's going to be way too big, so if we click here, then we can change the size of it to 0.2. And that's going to be a much better size for this, for following this path. Now we can create another constraint here, And this one is going to be a follow path constraint. And what we want to do is pick our path. So you could pick it from here. There's only one, so it doesn't really matter. Or you can use the eyedropper and pick the path. All right, so now we've got this path that it's going to follow. And you can mess with the offset, and you can see that I'm not sure why it goes between 0 and -100, but that doesn't make much difference to us. So it's going actually from 0 to negative, and then it follows this path. So that's ultimately what we want it to do. And we can also follow the curve. First of all, take a look. You'll notice that the cube is not spinning at all. It's not turning. If we follow curve, then it seems to follow this curve a little bit. I'm not sure how important that is right now, so we'll just turn that off. Now we need to make this sort of a child of this cube. And one way you can do it is through the typical way of parenting objects to each other, but another is the object constraint. So what we'll do is we'll add another object constraint, and this one's going to be a child of constraint. And when I've played with this, it seems to work a lot better, or maybe only works if you move the child of constraint to be at the top before it starts tracking to. Then we just need to pick our object, and you'll notice that it's kind of far off here in the distance. That's because our offset here needs to be 0, 0, 0. And by the way, if this isn't showing at any point, you can hit the N key and it will show it or hide it, depending on whether it's visible or not. So now I've got this cube that should follow this path. And then, so I'm going to mess with the offset. I've got this empty here. So I'm just going to call this camera container so that it's more obvious what I'm working with here. And then I'll mess with the constraint and I get this. I've had some weird things happen when the constraints are out of order or something like that. And let's say you've got, let me make sure I pick the right thing, the camera here, and you just switch this, and for some reason it's just not working properly. I've been able to select the camera, hit G, and kind of just wiggle it around and then right click, and then sometimes that resets things. I'm not sure what causes that, but this seems to work pretty well. So now we've got this view, and if we view it from the camera view, and we go to our camera container and we mess with the offset, we can kind of see this view where we're coming in. So that's kind of it for how to set up these constraints. Now, just to show you really quick, if we want to make this follow our path and animate, let's say we take it back to 0. Then we can set a keyframe. So we're on frame 1 right here. So hover your mouse over this little offset thing, hit I, and then we're going to move it out maybe 100 and set this to -100 and hit I again. And now if we hit 0 to, whoops, up here, hit 0 to see this from the camera's point of view, if we cycle through, you can see that it's now animating along here as we move through the animations. All right, I hope this video has been helpful. I mentioned at the beginning that I was using this for creating synthetic datasets. So if you've never heard of that term before, basically what it means is training artificial intelligence to understand images by only giving it images that have been rendered in a tool like Blender. So we can 3D render an animation or a scene or an object from lots of different angles, and then use those renders to train artificial intelligence. So if that sounds really cool and interesting to you, then check out the extra links in the description, and I'm going to teach a lot more stuff on that topic over the coming months.